Hey, Renegade, I'm up. I'm up. Yes, I'm up. Evening, evening. You know, a lot of people can't miss this interview, you know. Some people are saying, good evening. Them can't miss this interview. Welcome to our talk. Yes. Because today we have feature Gabriela Morris, PNP Senator. Yeah. It's going to be kicking in. Yeah, waiting on her to sign in right now. Yes. Yeah. This one going to be kicking. All right? All right. Because it's a rising star, she's a rising star. So now to look out for that one then, real rising star, right? I'm gonna play two clippings with her, before she sign in. Yes. I'm gonna play two clippings with her. One in the Senate and the next one on the platform. Yes. And then we're gonna have some night, we'll have a night. We have a good chat. Okay? All right. What's this?
Celebrated 60 years of independence. Time come for the next few years to be years of action from us if we wish to truly secure the future for the next generation. And so I want to say to the Prime Minister with the utmost respect that the focus should not be on pushing back at critics. The focus should be on pushing back against poverty by creating people-centered policies. The focus instead should be on pushing back against crime by identifying those root causes and creating serious programs and policies to counteract the challenges. I dare say the focus has to be on pushing forward, not back, with education by building a world-class education system that truly prepares our young people to thrive. We have to attend to these pressing challenges. Our politics might be different, but this is our Jamaica. We have to move with a sense of urgency. My generation, the generation of your children and grandchildren, it depends on us doing the right thing right now. Time for.
The time is now if you want a better Jamaica.
Hey, good evening. Senator Gabriela Morris, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me. Good evening to all your viewers.
Yes. How's everything? Everything all right? I think we start off to play a little clip with you first, because,
well, everything is going so far.
Yeah, I cannot hear you properly. You can hear me? Can you hear me properly?
Oh, are you hearing me now?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, you're in me. Okay. So let me start the art talk now, because I would like you to give me a rundown, you see, and your humble beginning. Like place, birthplace, date of birth, family life, school, and career. And can you tell me how and why you enter politics?
Okay. All right. So let's start with where I am from. I am originally from Montego Bay, born, if you're a Montegonian and you're on. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, but hearing you. You cannot cutting out a little, right? You're cutting out a little, but you can, yes. Sure, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm from a place called Doom Street. If you're a Montegonian, you know where Doom Street is. That's where I was born. Raised in Montego Bay, past student of Cornwall Avenue, past student of the Montego Bay High School for Girls. I left Montego Bay to attend university, and I went to the University of the West Indies to pursue a first degree in pharmacology, basic medical sciences. So that's my first degree. And then right after, I went to complete a master's in communication for social and behavioral change. Now, growing up in Montego Bay, both my parents are teachers. I also grew up Seventh-day Adventist, so service was a big part of my life. I came from a family that traditionally supported the People's National Party. My family is from Westmoreland, so you know how that go. And my grandmother's maternal, her married name is Patterson. So you're coming from a family like that, which traditionally supported the PNP. But for me, I didn't really grew up being involved head on in the politics. Most of my leadership experience would have been through community involvement. I served as a junior counselor, and it afforded me the opportunity to interact with a wide cross section of people, and that's where my love for service really grew in the community. Being able to, go out and feed the homeless, clean up houses for people who were shut-ins. That was where I started out. When I went to university, however, that was where I started to get a lot of my political grounding. And for me, it was an exploration of ideology, yes, because I believe that when you practice politics, you must have your values involved in it. And for me, my values were surrounding social justice, were surrounding equality of opportunity. And I found at the time that the People's National Party and their principles and policies resonated with what I believed in as an individual. And so I joined UE Visions on campus. That was where I started out. And shortly after, I had an opportunity to work with, MP Bunting at the time, now Senator Bunting. And I got an opportunity to be exposed to the political realm. Now, that for me was an exciting opportunity to be on the road and be in the nitty gritty of it. And I loved it. From there on, I went on to, campaign for Dr. Phillips as well. And shortly after, as some persons might know, I got the opportunity of a lifetime to serve my country. I was asked by Dr. Phillips to sit in the opposition benches of the Senate. Now, Wayne, I tell you, at that point, I was a 23-year-old university student. I just finished my first degree. And when I got the call, I said, Lord Jesus. I was shocked, but I also understood the gravity of the situation. And I remember around the time there were some detractors, critics, who said, what is a 23-year-old doing in the Senate? And from then, I knew that I had a responsibility and a very critical role to play in shaping the political history of this country. And I take that very seriously. Because for me, as a 23-year-old, I understood that I had an experience which was shared by thousands of other people in the country. And I saw the value in that. And I saw the value in being in a space where I was able to speak on these issues that are affecting my generation, that are affecting other persons who are in my community. And I went ahead with it. It's been 4 years in the Senate. I am now gearing up to run in the next election in Northwest St. Anne as a candidate for the PNP. And all I can say is that it's been an experience, and I've enjoyed it particularly because of the opportunities that politics has given me to interact with people and to shape their lives, even in a small way and a positive way. And I am eternally grateful for that opportunity to serve. So that's a little bit of my backstory. I can tell you that much of my love for politics and my love for people and my love for service, it came from growing up in the era where Portia Simpson Miller was on the rise. And as a little girl, what I saw from that was my my whole worldview of politics and what politics should be about. And I think it was a positive one because it allowed me now, as I'm in the space, to really think about people in everything that I do. And I think that's the kind of politics that we have to practice in Jamaica, the kind of politics that is really about meeting people and ministering to their needs and putting them first.
Okay. All right. Tell me something now. So with this government, let me just because it's all talking, with this government, what is really going wrong in the country right now that if the PNP come in, you don't want to change with this current government? Just tell me everything where it's going wrong. Yes. If them doing good, you
All
can
right.
do, but if them not doing good, you just tell me.
All
what is
right.
going on. Yes.
There's so many things that I could, yeah.
That's
I mean, there's so many things that I could touch on. I think the government has lost their way. I think they have become quite careless in how they choose to govern. I think that pertaining to education specifically, I am especially worried. I was at a meeting out in St. Mary on Sunday, and I as I was speaking, I could feel just the anger inside of me because of what I see happening in the education sector. Now, for me, as somebody who grew up on Doom Street in Montego Bay, my parents are public sector workers. Education was my means of being able to have upward social mobility to move forward. And for a lot of young people, for a lot of families across Jamaica, education is that vehicle out of poverty. We know this. So for me to look on and see the kind of pussyfooting that is going around, that's the best way I can put it, going on in the education sector, it hurt me. When we look and we see that school is about to start in a few weeks, and there are still some schools with damage from Hurricane Beryl that all know they don't know what's going to happen, it can't be right. And I've been critical of the Minister of Education because I see that she tends to be very reactive and very slow to the draw. And for education to actually move forward, we need forward-thinking people. We need people with vision. There are a lot of changes that I think need to happen in the sector when it relates to which relates to what our children are being taught, the whole curriculum. I think that needs to change. It cannot be that from 1962 we're learning the same thing from 1962 to now. It's a different time. Our children need different skills to exist. It's a different world. And so while there are some strides that have been made towards, offering different skills, I think that there needs to be some changes. One of those is when we talk about civics in school, how we teach civics, what are they learning? When we talk about our history, what are they learning? I feel like children in school should be learning money management, financial literacy. So I think that we need to reconceptualize education as well as how we're teaching our students and how we're assessing our students. There are some students who are in the classroom and, the Ministry of Education said no student must be left behind. But there are thousands who are being left behind simply because they don't learn at the same pace as other students. And for me, that's a travesty because a lot of these children, they're not dunce. They're not dunce. They just need more time, sometimes more attention, and they need other ways of learning. So I feel like we have to get to that point where we understand that we need to develop different opportunities for our students. Some of them, they need a what would you call it now, a personalized program. And I can't blame the teachers for this because a lot of them have 63 children in a class to teach. So it comes now to proper planning in the education sector and resource allocation as well to ensure that our teachers are able to give the attention to the students. They're being compensated for the work that they're doing because that is a big thing. We look at the importation of teachers. A lot of teachers are worried. A lot of teachers are leaving. I don't know if you see the amount of ads that are going out. And it seems as if the minister is not worried, but I am worried. I am not afraid to say I am worried about what is going on. And I feel like the Jamaican people need to get up and say enough is enough. This is a sector that we cannot play around with.
Yes, yes. You can hear
So
me?
education is one of those areas. When we talk about, are you hearing me?
Yes. It cutting out just now. Just now. It kind of get forget sometime and come up back. But I'm hearing you. Yes. Hearing you now. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hearing you now.
Yeah. When we talk about social protection as well, yeah, social protection is another big issue. I'm a younger person, but my heart goes out to some of the older persons that I see in my constituency. A lot of the time I go around and they say, boy, they're having trouble with their pension. You know, them have to go we as and speak or sort it out. A lot of them they don't have the support to even sort out these issues. So when we talk about labor and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, these are some of the things that I would like to see addressed. Our elderly persons, whether you're going to have community aides who go in and assist them with this process. But our pensioners are suffering. A lot of them have worked off them soul case so much years of them life, and they're living in squalor. So these are some of the issues that we have to address. A lot of people are out there crying out. And this is why I practice politics. This is why I got involved in politics. Because there are a lot of people who will not come on a Wayne Lonesome program and say the government are the foolishness. They will not come on it. And they need somebody who is able to come on it and say it and to call out these things. So we have a lot to fix. And this general election that we're going towards, it's a serious one for a lot of people, because when I look at the past 5 years and I look towards the next 5, I say I have to win my seat. I have to win my seat, because I don't think Jamaica can take another 5 years of this government. I don't think that it's not possible. No. So those are some of the issues that are really perplexing to a lot of Jamaican people. Housing.
Yes. I want to show you a photo, right? And tell me
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
You can hear me? I want to show you a photo and tell me how you feel about this photo. Just look
Yeah.
in the photo itself. You have to say the education minister, but look who she come up with. This government come up with, and just tell me your honest view of this. And I will tell you mine, because this terrible. Just look at the photo. If you can make it out.
I saw it today. I saw it.
What's your views on this?
I saw it.
What's your views on this? Because this is a mass of
They have
everybody.
no shame. They have no shame. No shame. No. The person in that picture, I don't know if it was an invite that he received from the JTA or he went there on his own accord. But it shouldn't be. And it paints a picture of everything that is wrong with this country right now, with this government. They have no shame. That man, we know the story. We know what happened. We know how the whole heap of money missing and all the misappropriation. And the sad part of it is that it happened in education, where we're already in need of resources, where the sector is already suffering for lack of resources. And it's unfortunate that even the minister is there interacting with him in that way. If it were me, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. And it's the sad thing about it is that he's still actively involved in party politics. And it goes to show you that the JLP has a different set of standards. They have a different set of standards, because in no way, shape, or form should that gentleman still be involved in political life after what happened. And I say that unapologetically.
You believe this government really take the people them of Jamaica for a ride with everything that they see going on. The masses, let them take the masses for a ride because yes.
Of course they do. And as you know, when as a campaigning and I said to people, when they say they're not going to vote, me say that is how the government continue to take on for idiot. Because you see, when less people vote, it's easier to buy people, it's less people to buy. You understand? And the government has realized that if less people participate in the political process and if more people just don't pay attention, then they can get away with more things. So you see, I'm not only going to beat the government this time, but I'm going to say to the Jamaican people, I'm going to say to your listeners, pay attention, hold them accountable, call them out. You understand? Because when we are silent, them say, all right, them now look, and they do whatever they want. And that is how they've been operating. You understand? So when we look at the fact that, all right, the prime minister can come and say that he's gonna build, I forget the actual figure, I can look it up. He's gonna build thousands of houses, knowing that in 1 year he was only able to build say 200, but yet him a tell we say him go build about 5,000.
6,000.
That is taking us for idiot, because all of us can see, yeah, all of us can see what 6,000, right? All of us can see how many you've been able to build each year. Yet you're going to come and tell us that, all right, remember, we're in an election year. All right, we're going to build 6,000.
Yes.
That is taking people for idiots.
Mm.
And I've been cautioning people. Yeah, I've been cautioning people. Look out for these things. Don't take the bait. When we go to the polls and as we look out for the manifestos, Jamaicans need to look and say, all right, is this feasible? You understand? We need to engage our minds. We're not dunce. But because the prime minister realizes that, as I say, a lot of people have disengaged from the political process, then he just uses that as an opportunity to do whatever he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
He can't continue.
Okay. Let me touch a little bit on the health system. Or you grade the health system from 1 to 5. Well, me know I grade it, I mean, I'll tell you yet, but I'll tell you after. The health system. Look at the health system. By the way, I think we get a travel for advisory now with the health system. First time in the history of the world. No other country. And under normal circumstances. So you agree with the health system.
Yeah.
And the minister himself. Because the minister came here, an interview and then he ran off. Leave me alone. So yes. Leave us alone, yes. I agree with the health system.
I would give the health system 1, and that 1 is for the workers because they're the ones keeping it afloat. Apart from that, there are several deficiencies. The minister now, you really want me to grade him?
Yeah, but we grade him. Yeah.
The minister is the minister is quite the PR agent. You say 1 to 5. I don't even know if I can give him 1.
Sorry.
Because the truth of the matter is that
no, hold on, Gabriela.
Go again?
It's from 0 to 5. Sorry, sub 0 to 5. From 0 minus 0 to 5.
0 to 5.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't even know if I can reach 1. Probably a 0.5 because his PR is very good. But that's all it is. And the unfortunate part of it is that, I went to the hospital one night, and I can tell you this. I went to UA hospital, and when I look around me, I see babies, them string up and this chair, them sit down pan, right? I see people, them have to kind of rock back the chair for kind of get some sleep. And it was chaotic. Like when I left, I felt more sick than how I had gone in, just because of the environment that was there. And it's a worse situation in some other hospitals across the country. And we see it. People lay down on cardboard, people, the food. So the health sector, I think right now it's hemorrhaging. And we saw other day where they put out that they're not taking any transfers at the public hospitals, right? That in itself has to be a concern. That in itself has to be a concern. The fact that dialysis machines are not working, that has to be a concern, because essentially what you're saying to people who have kidney issues is that they just must sit down and wait to die.
Mhm.
So health for me needs a complete turnover. The minister needs to go. As why your president have called for him to go them cost way. But I believe that he needs to go. Somebody needs to take over who is affair with how the sector needs to be run, who is affair with the kind of compensation that is due to workers. Because a lot of these doctors, them make it the one because they're out there, they're slaving out, but the conditions are woefully lacking. They don't have the resources. When we look at the fact that the health minister could have spent on Jamaica Moves, and no, listen, I'm not saying that Jamaica Moves is a bad program. Maybe I would give him another 0.2 for Jamaica Moves, because in itself, it's a good program, right? But when you spend the kind of money that was spent on Jamaica Moves, right, when there are hospitals that don't have we call it, when there are hospitals that don't have dialysis machines, no, for me, that not match up, because these are essential services, you understand, that are necessary for the proper functioning of the health sector. So the minister needs to go. They need to get somebody in there who understands the sector a little bit more and who is not just trying to put a plaster over a big old festering wound, because that is what the health sector is right now. When we talk about local clinics, a lot of them, I don't know if you saw it, I put out a video when I just entered the constituency, because I look and I see the state of the runaway bay health clinic. And that's the condition of a lot of these clinics. Now, these are where hundreds of people go to access health services. A lot of them can't go to the hospital because, as I tell you, St. Anne's Bay Hospital is a case in itself. So they go to the clinic. Even when they go to the clinic, the conditions there are poor. You understand? The nurses are working with little to nothing. So, as I said, more investment is needed in the health sector. I know that with a PNP government, we would have a health minister who is certainly familiar with the ins and outs of the healthcare industry. Dr. Dawes has been advocating a lot, and I think he would do very well as the minister in kind of setting things straight and reprioritizing, because, as I said, the priorities right now of this minister seem misplaced.
So this minister, right now, is the more PR stunt minister more than a health minister. He's not a health minister, because the American have a PR stunt, tricking people. But I will give him, well, we give him sub-zero, minus. We don't give him zero, but you still give him a better rating than me. I'm telling you. Because
how much you give him?
minus zero, yes. I'm tell him. He come on the program, you know. So him ratings not there. Right? Because the dialysis machine and all these kind of things, no beds, no medication, nothing. And then we interviewed him before, but he said
Can't continue.
Yes. So he said him for move. That means him not do good. So not continue. Continue.
Man, I'm going to
repeat.
Yeah, I'm going to try and join from my phone, because I'm going to try and join from my phone, because I realized that the internet on my laptop is a bit blotchy.
All right, no problem. Try join from my phone. All right.
Yeah, so just give me 1 minute to join from my phone.
All right, good.
All right.
Yes, good. All right, people, I'm gonna play a speech from Senator Morrison. You know, it's come back, right? All right, make a play this. Senator Morris. Senator Morris here. All right. Come on.
Party president and the next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Comrade Mark Jefferson Golding, General Secretary of the People's National Party, councillors, councillor candidates, and you, the workers, the warriors, the foot soldiers, the stalwarts, the lovers of the greatest political movement, the People's National Party. I greet you with love. Today, a very important announcement was made. And leader, I want you to listen good when I ask this question. Comrades in Port Maria, if you're ready, let me hear you say ready. Comrades, we have come a far, far, far way. And now we are here, right before the 26th. And tonight I want to say to every comrade, to every Jamaican, that the time has come for a change in this country. The time has come for the People's National Party to take over the municipalities in this country. The time has come for every Jamaican citizen to live good in this country. Comrades, just this week, I don't know if you want to see it, but there was a little fool video going around. And some misguided young people on the other side, they might talk about how awesome it is to be getting $13,000 for minimum wage. And I want to ask, oh, that's awesome when there are people in this country who are literally fighting for a meal. There are people in this country who don't know where their picnic, school fee and lunch money have come from. There are people in this country who want a good roof over them head. And we have to say to them that we have ambition and we want more from the government, more from our officials. We want to have an opportunity to uplift ourselves as Jamaicans. And so, comrades, that is one of the reasons this election is so important. Because we see that we have a government who is willing and ready to take advantage of people in this country. Them don't care where them are thief from. We see just last week, comrade leader, trillions of dollars missing from ministries, the Ministry of Education being one of them. And we want to know where is the money. We want to know what is being done in the ministry, because there are children, your children, our children who need those resources, and we can't afford for them to thief it out. And so we're sending a strong signal tonight that we are ready to move these people out of power who are comfortable stealing from the people of this country. We are ready to say no more corruption. We are ready to say that the government needs to step up on crime, because people in this country fear for them life. So tonight, we need to send a signal that Jamaicans are tired of the Andrew Holness government. We are tired of his lack of effort on crime. We are tired of him not allowing people to have access to housing. We are tired of the chicanery business. And we want a leader who cares. And so man Jefferson Golding is here with clean hands and clean hearts. He's here to serve the Jamaican people. And so, comrades, as we move towards the 26th, we not just dress up in our orange clothes because we love dress up in our orange clothes. We are dressing up and we are showing out as comrades because we believe that Jamaica needs a rescue mission to rescue us from these people who want to turn our country upside down. And I'm telling you already, and I'm going to tell you again, if we're not going to wreck it, the PNP going to have to take it. So we are saying tonight that we are ready. Our local government representatives are ready. They're standing with the people. And we know that when the trumpet sounds, when the 26th arrives, the People's National Party comrades from near, comrades from far will be shouting victory, 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 because time come right now. The word is love.
The word is love. See how much to play. The word is love. You can hear me? You can hear me? You hearing me?
I'm hearing you now. Are you hearing me better?
Yes, I'm hearing you better.
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Yes. All right. So
all right,
we'll
good.
Finish off with you hearing me? You can hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay. So we can finish off with our Cornwall Regional Hospital, because I mean you're born in Mobile and St. James, so that is a story I know from 2016, 17, and billions after. I don't know what the health minister doing, but you're taking the Cornwall Regional Hospital because it's really bad.
Yeah, Wayne, I remember I worked at Western Regional Health Authority when the Cornwall Regional Project had just started. And the recommendation at that time, was to just start from scratch. The government, however, decided to go ahead and, see how they could do some cosmetic fixing. Now, it's been a loose count of how many years. I'm going to have to go back and check. But it's been years, and as you said, billions have been spent. I lost count of the latest total. But that again is just another example of the mismanagement that has happened under the minister. And I feel like, if anything, for me at least, that was the point where I said, no, he needs to be held account for what is happening at Cornwall Regional. My parents still reside in Montego Bay, and every day I pray, say them not sick. Because for many Montegonians, the option is for them to either see if they can go Falmouth. Yes, they have some things going on at Cornwall Regional, but it's really hell up there. It's hectic to get through. The facilities are lacking. And so it's either you're going to go try and go Falmouth or you're going to go private. And the hospital option is hundreds and hundreds of thousands you have to spend when you go hospital. So the situation with Cornwall Regional, I don't think that the Jamaican government has really looked at how devastating that is for the West. The fact that that is the type A hospital that services Western Jamaica and the state that it's in. And the kind of problem that it puts not just Montegonians in, but people from Western Jamaica who rely on Cornwall Regional for health services. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. And at
don't think that where the project is now, that the minister should even still be presiding over that project, because it has gone on for far too long. We're hemorrhaging money and we're still not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel to say, all right, Cornwall Regional is going to be up and functioning again anytime soon. And it's been years.
So
So that's another thing. We can look at the whole. You must remember when they took Fenton to task over the dead baby scandal, and the Prime Minister himself said, we can't hear baby a ball and this and that. We had an outbreak of bacteria at the hospital and several babies died, and all now the minister has not taken any kind of responsibility for that. No remorse. Again, just PR, and blaming who. Tufton has had his time. I think he's a nice man, but as a minister, no. I think we've given him enough chances to make a mockery.
Okay, so we're just look who failed. All right, we're going to the light and power now. The minister of what do you call it now? Energy. All right. So let me just play something with the Prime Minister before me.
Yes.
What? Let me play this.
The Labour Party will make sure that we put in place more efficient electricity generating plants to bring down the cost of electricity to you. I don't like to make promise. I make commitment. And under the Labour Party government, we are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big power plants. We are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big energy companies that can put the money in here to build the plants to give you cheaper and better electricity.
So, all right, this was a 2016 election promise. A matter of fact, nothing never keep it. Nothing. That is anti-honest, you know. With the energy and we're going in a St. Elizabeth now, and the people them still in a blackout and I use with the blinky. What's your take on it?
Why? So I saw the minister trying to distance himself. Well, not just Vaz, but also the finance minister trying to distance himself from what's happening with JPS and saying, you know, JPS is essentially, it's their own doing and the government wasn't made aware of it. JPS is saying the government was made aware of it, and it's a whole back and forth right now. But I know that a lot of people, including myself, afraid to go check them bill, because once they said that they'll be providing some subsidies to people in St. Elizabeth, which is a good move, I knew that somebody would have to foot that cost. And unfortunately, JPS is spreading it across its customer base. So we're seeing people who used to have a $13,000 bill now paying $100,000 for their light bill. Now, for me, that same promise that the Prime Minister made in 2016, a lot of people were like, yeah, man. Yeah, it catch a lot of people. I'm not going to lie. But when you look at the fact that over his term, you've seen little to no changes in the arrangement with JPS. And not just that, you've seen little to no development in alternative energy solutions. It's ridiculous. 2 weeks ago, at the close of Parliament, we passed a bill that would have made it essentially easier for persons to import solar energy equipment, right? So more persons would be able to install panels and, you know, come off JPS grid. That in itself is a good thing. But when you look at the underlying issue, which is who can afford this, it's really not helping the everyday person who really needs to see that cut in their light bill, who can't afford to pay a $13,000 light bill. It's not helping them. It's helping people who already have the resources and who already have the deep enough pockets to afford it. And so one of the things that I know that a PNP government has been researching and has been looking to implement once we become government is how we can really have other energy solutions working for people, for the everyday person in Jamaica. So we can see a farmer being able to put up him solar panels and cut costs. You understand? We can see a household of 4 being able to install them solar panels, get their subsidy, install that, and cut their bills. So that is what we need to move towards. The arrangement with JPS right now, it needs to be completely reviewed. And I know that Paul Will has been speaking a lot about that, and we've looked at it in our own meetings. But it needs to be reviewed because obviously there are some issues there, and it's the people who are suffering,
We could go to the ministry now after. Me just go through a couple of them one, but we have to carry you back in. We have to carry you back. We have a part 2 where we can get you. The camera give you little trouble same way, but we have to carry you back because I mean, wow, you mash up the place, People them love you around here. Them a big you up now, right? Yes, man. Them like bright minds, and them like shining stars, and you're one of them, You're one of the future stars, Yes, right? Yeah. All right,
yeah.
let me go to the Minister of Water. Because we can play a next thing, a next clip again where Andrew that promise him to end water. Imagine that any electricity poverty and water poverty, I never know these things. But now they must say out. And before you even say something, I know Jamaica, you can have over 100 we not talk about drought. It's just water distribution. But in the center of, reach channel and where do, but nothing to date. What's your take on it?
So in Northwest St. Anne, water is a significant issue. You have many farming communities that are oftentimes without water. Now, while some strides have been made with trying to, use some wells that are in the constituency, I think there's still a lot more that we have to explore. One of the facilities in the constituency is something that I would like to see done because over the years, a lot of promises have been made. And, once you change government, certain things get shelved. And Dr. Campbell had a plan for water, to bring water in Bamboo. That's something that I'm already exploring and I want to see through. Because for agriculture to thrive, you need water. And as you said, the natural resources there, we have to figure out how to get it to the people. And so that's one of my big priorities. Now, in Jamaica, we also have to explore, and I haven't really heard much talk about it, but rainwater harvesting. We have whole heap of rain, especially a country, whole heap of rain. So we have to see how we can get those systems to work, how we can collect the water, how we can purify the water. That's the direction that we have to be going in, not just walking around and grandstanding every day. But these are some of the things that we have to actually see through to fruition. Water harvesting is one of them for me. There's some talk about desalination, seawater. We have whole heap of that. So these are some of the things that I think a PNP government will have to explore. For me, they're doing, water is one of those ministries where I see that, some things have been done, but we have to take it a step further just for the sake of continuity. Because remember, it's natural resources. And at some point, we have to figure out a plan for sustainability. Right? That is one of the areas. So for me, those are two of the things that I would want to see a PNP government explore. Yeah.
Because of something, and you just follow it up, right? All right. For instance, Blank River, more than 33 miles long, more than the deepest part is like 308 feet deep. Deep. You got 30 feet to get the bench. That's 30 feet, that's deep. and 300 miles, and the widest part over a mile wide. And all these water, most of that are run to the sea. When you count all these rivers and all of them are go to the sea, and you think about like some pipeline, like from Russia, Siberia going to Europe, and if them run thousands of miles, well, we can do that in our place like 144 mile long, you know, from length to length, and pipe up and build some, you know, reservoir, build some other things and deal with the water. Why we can't do that and just get along? Because all these waterways, you know, those people never dried up yet, never. And we can't call we are Kobe, and all of these people. Why we cannot do
It
that
can be done.
in a small country?
It can be done. And a lot of the work, of course. But as I said, priority. We have to make that one of our priorities. We have to be willing to invest the money. And I find that some other things are taking precedence over some of these issues that are especially important in rural communities where agriculture is a big thing and we have to invest in water systems. A lot of our problems as well, it comes back to maintenance, right? And that might be as well something that the different agencies have to be on top of too. So the government has to mandate that these things are done. Maintenance of pipes. You know, a lot of these pipes lay how much years ago and nobody no look back at them. So over time we start to have problems with them because we're not investing in maintaining the infrastructure that already exists and building out on what we have. So priorities, water for me has to take precedence because rural development is something that we have to, in the next 5 years, ramp up. All the development can be going on in Kingston because what we're going to begin to see, and we're already seeing it, is that Kingston is becoming more populated than the resources can manage, than the infrastructure can manage. You understand? So we have to start to ensure that we invest in rural communities.
Let me go to crime now because, well, me I get fear that Anjo, we just having out some things and me I tell you, you know, me I tell you, yeah, man, me I tell him to Senator Morris, make your administration look bad. Yes, because you have these kind of guys who are supposed to be some stalwart, but no, them are PR stalwart. Because, you know, PR without action, right? PR, pure rubbish. PR, pure rubbish. PR stuff. All right. So we are going to crime, but now remind the Prime Minister, right? Yes, pure rubbish, stand for pure rubbish. But remind the Prime Minister when it's right here, and then I'm going to ask you something about crime. Just watch this.
Leader used his tour to launch an assault on the government's fight against crime. Mr. Holness and opposition MP Desmond McKenzie were in the community today. Andre Jebinson reports.
The man in charge of the security portfolio, Peter Bunting, had a tour on Sunday, and Mr. Bunting, who receives the crime figures daily, insists there is no increase in major crimes. But opposition leader Andrew Holness has his own view on Friday night's shooting in Seaview Gardens.
It is an example of the growing level of criminal activity within Jamaica. Crime is once again rearing its ugly head, and it is really a cause for great concern.
Mr. Holness said the mothers feel let down by the government.
The government has a role to play in this. The government has a duty to secure and provide security for the people of this country. And I think in talking to that mother, it was clear to me that she felt that the government had abdicated its role in providing security.
Mr. Holness said the opposition will be holding the government accountable for its role in controlling crime.
We had managed to bring down the murder rate 3 or 4 years ago. Now it is climbing. We are concerned. We are very worried. And our visit here today is to give the people of Seaview Gardens, but Jamaica in general, the assurance that the opposition is speaking out firmly against crime.
Not only that, Mr. Holness wants the entire country to send a message.
All well-thinking Jamaicans should raise their voice in concert against the high levels of crime and against the government in not doing enough in controlling crime.
Okay. Senator Morris. Senator Morris?
Yes, you hear me?
Yeah, man, hearing you. Good. All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I turned
come on, but I can
back
hear you.
and
Yes, I can hear you. All right, that's good. All right. So yeah, with the Prime Minister, you know, when he were in opposition, him say all well thinking Jamaican must raise them voice in unison, together, in concert against the government. Hold the government accountable for the crime. Now, without him come out and say, the people in Jamaica hold the opposition to accountable for the crime. He can't have it both ways. You're taking crime. He can't have it both ways because him did say, him gonna make your feet with the wind and doors open and be a baby crying. You're taking crime. You can hear me? Senator Morris? Senator Morris?
I'm
Yes. You're not hearing me? Make us finish. All right, you what? Make us finish up these two questions. Even make us call you. Yes, make a call you. Make us finish two questions offline because I hear you going in and out, right? Make a call you. Yes, make us finish up this. Yes, man. Okay. We definitely have to carry her back, you know. Right? Yes. We're going to carry her back. But make us finish it on the phone now. Because we have to carry her back, right? Hey, all right. Senator Morris, we can finish it on the phone because Twitter, it's a stick like you're going on. So, and then we're going to carry you back. Because you know we have to follow it up, right? All right. So we're talking about crime, right?
Hold on, go again. I'm not hearing you.
You can hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about crime. And we just play something with Andrew Holness, with the Prime Minister, when he were in opposition. And him tell all members of Jamaica to hold the government, you know, raise the voice in unison and hold the government accountable for crime. Now, we saw him doing an interview the other day, him doing a press briefing after the 8 people died. And him asked, he must say, the people in Jamaica to hold the opposition accountable. Him can't have it both ways. You're taking crime. And what's going on in Jamaica?
No. Well, the first thing is the government has been blaming the opposition for everything going wrong. And that is the sign of a weak government. Now, with crime, the only plan I've seen that the government is really championing is the militarization and the state of emergencies. Now, we did not support the last request for state of emergencies because we believe that it should not be used as a routine crime fighting tool. And the government should be tasked and should be held to account for actually having a plan for crime fighting that they've not been able to produce. We saw the latest, most gruesome set of murders, and I want to take the time out to say to the families and the loved ones of those victims in Cherry Tree Lane that condolences. It should not have happened, and we really, really have to ensure that we get those criminals. Now, crime in Jamaica, I saw the latest set of statistics saying that crime is down. However, the reality on the ground is not showing that, and it has not been showing that for a long time now. So the government really has to take some responsibility for that. Blame can be passed to the opposition because, we never support states of emergencies. What else can be used? Is it that the government has no other tools or no other plan to use to arrest crime? No, they have to go to the drawing board and figure that out. It cannot be put on the opposition to do that.
We know that, and we're not going to allow that because him, when he were in opposition, him said, we, the people here him said, all well thinking Jamaican must raise them voice in concert, in unison, together, unite, and against the government and hold them not controlling crime. So now the shoes go on the other foot. And now him want you know for we know for all the opposition. Him sick in the head. I will tell him that straight because they watch these things around here. Right? All right. Before we wrap up. Because I have to carry you back. Yes. Go.
One of when I can get the internet because I'm not sure what
Yeah.
going on with. One of the issues, and I continue to say this, I've said it in the Senate several times.
Yes.
Crime not just appear out of nowhere. It is a social problem, and we need to come up with social solutions for crime.
True.
Over the years, the research has shown that one of the issues that we need to address is land, right? We need to ensure that we regularize people. We need to ensure that we are building communities that don't become a haven for criminal elements. So that needs to be addressed. In addition to that, what I will say again, social problems. And a lot of people will say, oh, social intervention don't work. Some research has come out from Capri in the last couple of weeks that has said that. But for me, we need to assess the types of social intervention that we're doing. So it's not just broad-based, oh, social intervention don't work. And the minister, Mr. Sleepy, I call him because he's sleeping at the job. He has said that as well, but we need to look at the types of intervention that we have in communities to steer especially young people away from crime, because we know that young people are the victims as well as the perpetrators of the crime. So for me, even now, a lot of them starting from high school, them starting from even younger than that. We need to get into the communities and start to engage these young people. We need to teach them life skills. We need more mentorship in communities. Because a lot of the reason that especially our boys, I feel very strongly about this, our boys are getting recruited by these gangs and these criminals because oftentimes they don't have the family structure that will really say to them, no, that's not the way. And so sometimes the communities have to get involved. We need to have programs that are going to take these young boys, that are going to mentor them, that are going to, encourage them to go into education, encourage them to go get them training, because that is how from a very early age, we're going to get them attached to something apart from the crime. So you have to create alternatives for young people that won't allow them to go in that direction. And that's one of the things that I think that we have not invested enough in. We talk about the Peace Management Initiative, right? That's one of the programs that was cut by this government because they say, well, social intervention don't work. But for me, it is how you do it. It is how you manage the resources. It is how you carry out the programs and how you assess the programs to ensure that they are working. So we need to take a closer look at some of the root causes and decide on some of the programs that we think can address those root causes head on. So it's not just sending out army man and police about the place. Yes, that is good and that can be helpful. But we also have to look at the programs that we're putting in place to directly engage people and steer them up from crime.
That's good. All right. So we have to carry you back, right? Because to the thing of itch, the young people like to see you when you talk, So we have to carry you back. We reach the hour mark already. We're going to carry you back on this. When we carry you back, we're going to carry you back in an hour and a half or 2 hours because people like your vibes, And then we have to talk about your place in St. Anne's. Where are you running again? The your caretaker where?
It's Northwest St. Anne. For Northwest St. Anne.
You can give us some of the district where it cover.
All right, so let me just give some details now. So if you know Prairie, it's from Prairie to all the way out to part of Trelawney. So Bamboo Division, we have Brownstone, Dryarb, and we have Sturgestown. So you know that we have Brownstone, which is a big division, which has been one of the big supporters of the PNP. I want to say hello to everybody who's learning from Northwest St. Anne. It's a rural constituency. As I said before, we have to begin to invest in rural development even more. You understand?
Yes.
It's the educational capital, St. Anne. So we have to ensure that there are opportunities, more opportunities for the young people there. And that's one of the things that I want to focus on when I become the member of the event.
Good. Lovely. Anyway, thanks for dropping by now. Thanks for having you. Yeah? Yes, man. And remember, we're gonna invite you back again. Yes.
All right.
We're gonna invite you back again, you know, and you know, we have to keep up. When we say bright minds, you know, we have to make sure we know diaspora know where you're going with, you know.
That's it.
Because we support bright minds. We want a different Jamaica. Yes. You understand? Thank you again. Yeah, and see you soon.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
Take
man.
care.
Take care. Okay, bye. Yes, man. That's, yeah, man. Gabriela Morris. Senator Morris. Yes, man. Brilliant. Bright minds. I'm going to do some more interviews with, you know, a lot more, you know, more senators and, you know, MPs, and yeah, we're going to do a lot more interviews, you know, in the coming week, you know, and talk to some other people. We have a lot of police interview, you know. I want to know the car miss, you know, before the week done. So put it up and want to see what I go on and thing, yeah? So when the car miss that, so when it does, I want to hear what I go on in the whole JCF and the stupidness and yes, you understand? So when it does, look out before the week done. We are going to interview a police. Very interesting. He might come born on the place. All right. And we're going to carry her back. Senator Morris, we have to carry her back, right? Our camera system, like the internet, giving some problem. So you know, see how good and it could be there. So we definitely have to carry her back. Okay, but we can't hear about good enough, but we want to see how good and you know more questions. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in to our talk. Next time, I'm out. Bless.